We're eating and ranking all of the food and drinks on the Disney Treasure. How do you do this? I'm keeping this forever. I love it in here. Okay, anyway, we're at Plaza de Coco. So the night one show at Plaza de Coco has the Rivera family just kind of coming together. Night one is all about family, all about sort of seeing where the Riveras are 3 years after the events of the film. Tonight, we are seeing the night two show, which is Dia de los Muertos show, where on Dia de los Muertos, Miguel, who is a live actor, summons the spirits of Mama Imelda and Hector, also live actors. Okay, I got the shrimp cocktail, which is Hector Rivera's appetizer, and I love Hector, and I just saw him sing Un Poco Loco and dance. Huge, perfectly prepared meaty shrimp, incredibly fresh tomatoes, like shockingly fresh, very delicious, very like mild, balanced, fresh flavors. At least for me, I start to get a little weighed down by some of the heavier food. This is an incredible appetizer. I've also got the watermelon jicama salad, just because I couldn't choose between appetizers.
Hey,
I'm so sorry, Miguel is yelling.
How's everyone doing?
Woo! I'm really a big fan of the salad.
I had the guacamole with the blue corn tortilla chips. It was just guacamole. It didn't have a ton of flavor.
I had the birria empanada, and honestly, I was very disappointed, which worried me because the appetizer usually sets the tone for the meal, so I was like, oh no. The empanada itself, the pastry was flaky and nice. It was the inside filling of the birria that just didn't hit.
For my dinner, I got Ernesto de la Cruz's grilled seafood and tomato rice. It's almost kind of doughy a little bit texturally, but I enjoyed the seafood. It was still pretty plain. It was a very safe bet. However, the scallops were cooked very, very well.
I chose the ribeye, and it came with a baked potato with some cheese on top, broccoli, and honey roasted carrots. First of all, love the carrots, and the potatoes are really fun. The steak, although a little bit on the dry side, paired wonderfully with the wine sauce. I really, really enjoyed this dish. In fact, it was my favorite of the entire trip.
The black bean soup was excellent. It was well made, it was warm, it had a little bit of a low heat to it, which was a really nice addition, but the beans were great. For my entree, I got the chicken mole, and this is one of my all-time absolute favorite dishes. My husband makes it for me all the time. It is my go-to whenever I order Mexican food at restaurants. The rice was fine. There's not a whole lot of spices to it, but the chicken and the mole that covers it does have those extra sesame seeds on top. I would have loved to have had it be a little bit sweeter because I prefer it to be more of like a thicker molasses, chocolatey kind of taste and consistency.
Now, I ordered the sea bass because sea bass is kind of a famous staple dish on Disney cruises. Always one restaurant has a sea bass dish, and it's typically very delicious. The sea bass itself was very well cooked, very delicious. It's a meaty, heftier fish, and there were lots of veggies on the side, but the actual main part of the plate didn't have a ton of flavor. It was super basic. However, that chimichurri on the side made this incredible. It was a delicious chimichurri, enough oil to make it spread across the fish really easily, and tons of garlic and cilantro in there. Had a nice zingy note that went right into your nose. Honestly, if I'm ever on the Treasure again, I'll probably ask for extra chimichurri to go with my sea bass because this was so good. I got the chocolate cake. Oh, I was not expecting, I literally read the menu. I should have been expecting raspberry, but I wasn't. My favorite thing about this is it has marigold petals on it, much like our well-crafted marigold here that I made our off-screen reporter extraordinaire do because I couldn't figure it out.
The churros were, they were good. They were a little bit on the soft side, but the flavor was there.
The sundae's delicious, creamy. It's a dulce de leche ice cream. The flavors are spectacular. I love these little fried tortillas with the cinnamon and the sugar. Had a good time.
Just a really beautiful show in a beautiful restaurant. I've spoken to the rest of the team from the earlier dinner. We agree 10 on atmosphere, 10 on experience, and we're gonna go with a 7 on the food, just because it definitely has a more like crowd-pleasing, sort of banquety vibe. So it doesn't quite hit all the marks of like it's sort of what you might want out of Mexican food, but it was still tasty enough. So we're going with a 7, which gives this restaurant a final score of 27, our highest of the rotational dinings.
In the brand new Marvel Celebration of Heroes Groot remix, you get to follow Groot during his on-screen quest to throw the ultimate surprise party for Rocket. It is a super cute show where Groot is, there's antics, the servers get involved, it feels very interactive, and between the show you do get to do some trivia. That's the show that we get to see tonight for the preview cruise, but when you are sailing on the Treasure, you will also get to see Avengers Quantum Encounter, which is the Ant-Man and the Wasp show that actually features a special in-person appearance by Spider-Man. So Worlds of Marvel is very fun and a super cute themed restaurant with, as we found out, pretty tasty food.
This caprese is better than I was expecting. They offered to put fresh cracked pepper on top of it, and they freshly poured the dressing at the table. It's got arugula in place of basil and big chunks of mozzarella. This is porcini mushroom, Swiss and patina cheese, garlic, thyme, and prosecco wine sauce. It's missing the big win of the truffle in the persets that you can find on the other ships. So if you're chasing that high, these aren't going to quite do it for you. But from a porcini, umami, mushroom kind of perspective, very delicious, tons of filling, perfectly cooked al dente pasta. I don't think I told you guys that I panic ordered, but I did. There's a lychee in this one. Oh my gosh. Very sweet lychee drink, very balanced with the alcohol. Just so delicious. Then we've got one that has a glow cube in it. The gin is very forward. It's very balanced. Again, extremely balanced. I'm like shocked by the quality of these drinks in the rotational dining. Oh my gosh, these are so good. I would like really recommend this flight. I've never enjoyed the cocktails at the rotational dining restaurant.
That's so crazy.
Cheers. So delicious.
I got the linguine nero. It's very interesting because the pasta is black, which is very cool and unique. It came with shrimp and they are delicious. A great dish if you don't want to feel too heavy. You got fresh flavors. Very fun, not your normal linguine dish. I loved it. It was a good choice.
I got the peri peri chicken, and I'm paraphrasing the name, but it was really, really good. The chicken was tender. It's almost like a quarter of a roasted chicken with the bone in. The peri peri sauce was more of like a tomato-y sauce. It had a very, very low heat to it, but there's also a little bit of a like roasted lime. And once you spread that over the chicken, oh my gosh, it really gave it a nice enhanced flavor.
I got the tamari and honey glazed salmon fillet. I am really pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoy the salmon. It's really well prepared. It's nice and flaky without being too undercooked or too overcooked. The soba is a little bit on the bland side. I would have liked a little something, maybe even a little sesame oil to just kind of lighten it up and add some flavor. I would get this again, but just be aware you're only getting flavor from the salmon and not necessarily the soba or the bok choy.
All right, we've got our desserts here on the table. We tried everything. So the chocolate decadence, the orchard peach tart, the double blueberry cheesecake, the celebration cake, which is a strawberry cheesecake, the marble sundae, and our server even brought us the cappuccino mousse, which is the no sugar added dessert. Hey, Emma. Okay. I'm not a big chocolate fan, but I did get the chocolate decadence because it was recommended. And I'm nothing if not ready to eat a recommended dessert. Ooh, that was good. The mousse is so light and airy, and it has this cocoa powder on the outside and a rich chocolate sauce, but it's not overly rich or overly sweet.
I got the Marvel Sundae. It's just a chocolate sundae with chocolate ice cream, whipped cream, chocolate sauce on top. So I got the allergy-free version without the Kit Kats on top, which I appreciated. Kit Kats don't typically have peanuts, but just for safety concerns, it's better to not have it on top. But it's really good, especially after eating such adventurous eats. It's good to have something cozy and comforting like chocolate ice cream. This is really yummy, and I really love the chocolate marble piece on top. It felt really special.
I need you to know that I fully intended to share my dessert. However, we got to talking and the food just kept going down my throat. What I really liked about it is it kind of mimicked a cake, more of a tart, So it's cut in a triangular shape. It's got some sustenance to it. It's kind of spongy like a cake would be on the inside. And the peach slices aren't coated in a gel or anything. You can tell they're just legitimately baked into the tart. It's served with a dollop of vanilla ice cream, but that ice cream is sitting on like a tart ring underneath it, which was a nice little treat.
I ended up grabbing the celebration cake. It was really nice. The more I ate, the more I enjoyed it. It was really light, and it was cheesecake, but almost like a custard texture. And then there was white chocolate across the top with a little bit of a strawberry glaze on the side. Super light, really enjoyable after you've had a heavier dinner. But I really liked it. The more I had, the more I enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend.
Okay, so the atmosphere in Worlds of Marvel is pretty cool, but it isn't anything that spectacular. It's kind of that vague metal blue Marvel vibe with a lot of screens. The experience of the Groot show, I really love. I love the trivia. I love that Groot is kind of funny and that you're listening to all those like really popular songs. It's really cute when the serving team interacts with the show. So I think this is a very fun experience, and I've seen the other show for Worlds of Marvel as well. I like that show less, but you do get to see Spider-Man at the end in person walk through the restaurant, so that's pretty cool. From a food perspective, we were pretty happy with Worlds of Marvel. I'm gonna go with an 8 on the food. For the atmosphere, I think we're gonna go with a 7, a nice 7 on the atmosphere. How about an 8 for the experience? Because the experience is fun, but it's also not, I think there's a lot more wow-worthy live entertainment options on this ship in dining experiences, especially in the rotational, that might blow it out of the water. So we'll go 8, which gives us a total of 23 points for Worlds of Marvel.
Next rotational dining you're going to find us at is 1923. 1923 features an elegant Hollywood-style inspired menu by California Fusion and Cultures of Flavors. There are actually 2 sides to 1923, the Walt Disney side and the Roy side. Both are similar and open to breakfast as well. It's really just a fun, more elegant side of rotational dining, and we are eating on the Walt Disney side tonight.
We've ordered our appetizers here at 1923. I got the double baked 3-cheese souffle, very, very light, fluffy, 3 different cheeses in it, so you can expect it to be really creamy.
It's light if you're not sure what to get, but you're familiar with these flavors. It's not a bad option at all.
So I got the potato gnocchi that isn't in the regular 1923 dinner menu. It's in the allergy-free menu. It's kind of flavorless, which makes me sad. I do enjoy the mushrooms, but that's the only thing that's really giving anything to this entire dish.
I think I got the perfect bite of hers because I liked it.
You liked it?
But I had a really fatty piece of, I think it's bacon, which added so much flavors. So I ended up trying the juniper marinated venison loin. The venison loin itself is actually, I would say, pretty meaty, almost gamey in a sense. But I think the part wine jus underneath it adds a really much needed moisture. The pork loin's a little bit on the dry end, so that's really needed. The vegetables are a little bit bland, but again, I think that jus adds a lot of much needed flavor.
The old-fashioned apple pie was good as far as like a comfort dessert. Moving on to the raspberry vanilla creme brulee. Holy cow. This was a slam dunk dessert in all the best ways. Honestly, I'm taking this thing back to the room with me. Next up was the Californian grapefruit cake. It's gonna mimic the same kind of texture that we found in the old-fashioned apple pie. However, I will say that it almost was a little bit more moist in those layers. You've got a little thin icing layer in between. It was just, again, kind of middle of the road ice cream sundae. Now this one's made with mint chocolate chip ice cream, the chocolate sauce and the whipped cream. It's just gonna be your standard sundae. The no sugar added chocolate cheesecake, that's really it. It's just a pillow of mousse, and we really wish that it had a little bit more flavor, a little bit more exciting texture. The signature chocolate cake, holy cow. It does have that gooey chocolate center to it. It's surrounded by a little bit fudgier cake consistency for the outer rim, and it's also completely smothered in a chocolate sauce.
For me, it feels classier for a rotational dining as far as decor and atmosphere goes. I think it probably sits at about an 8. overall for that.
I agree there.
It's also important to remember there's no show. This is one of the only ones. World of Marvel has the interactive trivia experience and Groot. And then of course, Plaza de Coco has so much that's going on. There's 2 different shows, same for Marvel. So it's a little bit harder to kind of justify the experience. I think it sits at a 5 because of that.
I agree. I think it's simple, but nothing wow about it.
For me, I think the food is going to sit at a 4, and I only say that because Miranda said 2 of the desserts were good, so I'm going to give it 1 extra point because I would have put it at a 3.
Felt kind of bland, lacked that flavor, lacked the elegance that the establishment has itself. Right. So I was kind of very disappointed.
Yeah. Overall, that sticks it at about a 17. I'm sorry to both Walt and Roy.
You guys are great though.
Yeah.
And today we are hitting up Marceline Market, which is named after Walt Disney's early childhood home. This eclectic marketplace is home to international dishes, classic favorites, and plant-based options. Okay, as you can see, I got a bit of variety on my plate. Marceline is great for those who want different selections to choose from. I grabbed the turkey bacon, regular bacon, these creamy scrambled eggs, this egg and sausage and cheese tart, eggs benedict, a hash brown, and an orange juice. Alright, so honestly, I really enjoyed everything on my plate. A big thing that I love about Marceline is its vast variety. So you can try something new, but enjoy your comfort faves.
Now, Angie was kind enough to eat this on camera, but we all have cruised through there and grabbed an item off the buffet at one time or another.
Yep.
Atmosphere-wise, I think Marceline Market has a really nice atmosphere. I think it's very pleasant. I think it's kind of upscale for a buffet.
I would agree with that.
I love that there's the coffee bar in there. And I sat out on the balcony today.
Ooh, very
with the
nice.
water in the shade, and it was windy, and I put my hair up, and it was really nice otherwise. So atmosphere-wise, I would say maybe
I'd say 7.
7.
Yeah, I agree.
Solid. Okay.
But that's a high end for a quick service,
for
right?
a buffet,
Yeah.
7's kind of incredible. Then experience-wise, you know what I don't love, and I do get why, and I kind of like it in theory. You probably like it. You're a germaphobe. I don't love that I can't serve myself mostly.
I'm so grateful that you cannot serve yourself.
So this is a
Yeah,
divided. You like that you can't.
Yeah, because it makes sure that everything's safe. There's no
Yeah.
cross-contamination.
It's like
stuff.
even the sauces you can't. I couldn't get myself tzatziki sauce like that. I was like, I have to come and ask you for tzatziki sauce. I didn't.
They're
love.
always there to get it for you.
It's true, and they're really obviously wonderful to talk to and very sweet customers. Where do you stand?
I must side with the dark side.
I need to. It is the dark side because they're right, but I want to.
We know we're wrong, and we
like,
still will die on that hill.
I know that I shouldn't want to ham fist crab claws. I do like that they do to ask you. They're very good about being is that how much you wanted? It doesn't really change it at all.
I give it a 6.
Okay, so 6, and then food. I was not impressed.
I'm not impressed. I think that a lot of it lacks flavor because that's where a lot of people are going. It's your general populace, and they're making sure that group is happy.
Okay, so 5 for food,
Yeah.
which gives it an 18 total for Marceline Market. That was the most debate you guys will see this whole video, I think.
If you're looking for an upcharged specialty treat, you're gonna head over here to Jumbo's Sweets. This is a Zootopia themed sweet shop where you're gonna find a lot of ice cream and gelato, and Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps are here too. This is an upcharge, this is not included, but if you're looking for ice cream and you don't wanna pay extra for it, we'll grab some of that too. All right, so here we grabbed a little bit of everything. I actually got 2 because I could not resist. So I got the macaron gelato and the Snickers gelato. Miranda grabbed the mango coconut, right? And then what'd you grab, Angie?
I grabbed the cookies and cream gelato with whipped cream and jumbo sprinkles on top.
I had the coconut mango with a few toppings. It was excellent, given the evidence.
I don't think you liked it.
For my 2, the Snickers was so good. The peanut flavor came through the heaviest, but it was just like eating a Snickers. The macaron was weird because half of it I loved. It was perfectly sweet. It felt like you were enjoying something almost like a cupcake. And then certain bites would taste like soap, and I don't know why that is.
Could it be maybe it's a rose macaron?
Maybe
Rose
it must
water
be.
does
It
taste
has
like
to be
soap.
the rose water because that's what it was for me. It reminded me of soap, but it was only in certain bites. But I also had half of a macaron in here, which I really loved.
Got a cookies and cream gelato, but the gelato was perfectly creamy. I love that there was good chunks of the chocolate cookie. I'm not sure if it's Oreo. I would assume it is Oreo. It's giving Oreo.
Classified as
Very yummy, and they didn't skip out on that. So I loved it. It was really yummy. I was very, very satisfied. Jumbo, you did an amazing job.
All right, we have made it to Hey Hey Cafe, and this is a Hey Hey themed cafe. Hey Hey the chicken. Sage's daughter Violet would love this. Maybe she wouldn't love the coffee drinks, but she would probably love this because she do love Hey Hey the chicken. It's got these really beautiful mosaics, Moana mosaics in the walls. They're just absolutely gorgeous and really elevate the space. And then the whole coffee bar is gorgeous, beautifully lit, beautifully designed, much like the rest of this ship, which is, I don't know if you've noticed, but just so incredibly beautiful. The bars do have USB charging ports and hooks, both under this back bar and the front bar. And this spot does serve cocktails as well as specialty coffees and teas, just like Coco Cafe. In fact, you'll find that the menu is pretty similar with just a couple of differences. And there's this statue of Hey Hey, which is incredible for many reasons. But we are gonna get something here because I'm eating everything for my eating everything video. And we'll have to try Hey Hey Cafe just like we tried Cove. Look, the ceiling's ocean.
You surely got it.
We're about to go through, we have the coffee loyalty card. I haven't talked about this yet, actually. So this is one of a big tip for us here at AllEars.
This is a huge tip.
Cafe Fanatic. This is a card that you get on your cruise, and they'll give it to you when you order one of these specialty coffees. Because remember, you do have to pay for them. Get this card, especially if you're going on like a longer cruise, or if you have multiple people in your party. Emma and I are splitting this card. We got 2 stamps at the last spot. We're about to get 2 more, and then spoiler alert, we're gonna get 2 more. And so we're really moving on. Wow, I'm gonna order this. I went with the pistachio latte, which I've never seen on another ship. And it's non-dairy, and it comes with a non-dairy whip. Emma got the salted caramel coconut latte, which is her favorite on any ship. She gets it like every day.
Every single day.
On anytime she's on a cruise. This is Jade Cafe. This is an incredibly beautiful cafe. It is themed to Mulan and of course Crikey, who I think does deserve a cafe. It's got this incredibly beautiful moon gate right at the front, and the theming of this bar is just so opulent and beautiful for a cocktail or a coffee or a beer, whatever you might want to grab. There's also a tiny statue of Crikey. There's a lady sitting next to him right now, but it's very cute. There's the little guy looking up at the blossoms. There is Mushu. The ceiling has little cricket cages like Crikey sits in.
They got something new to me. It is the beetroot latte.
Yeah, we're big beet fans.
Mickey and Minnie on it.
That's not a joke. We actually are big beet fans.
Huge fans.
Like, we talk about it more than you would think people talk about beets. Emma hates the beet latte.
I do hate it. I think you'll like it.
I think this is really spectacular. It tastes savory and earthy. Like, you can taste the beet flavor to it while still having a lot of the coffee flavors coming through. It is not sweet at all. No. Next up in our quick bites and sweet treats section, we are at Mickey's Festival of Foods. At Mickey's Festival of Foods, you'll find a lot of different tasty offerings and fan favorite treats like from these different themed food stations like Mickey's Smokestack Barbecue, Donald's Cantina, Daisy's Pizza Pies, Goofy's Grill, and Minnie's Delight. Now, atmosphere-wise, this is basically like a pool deck side food court. Little kiosks, they are super well themed. There's Emma. Oh gosh, you saw our off-screen reporter. We've got all these cute little themed stands, and then there's plenty of outdoor seating on the pool deck, or you can go eat in a pool chair, looking out at the views of the ocean. Obviously, this is probably the least atmospheric dining option, or one of the least that you'll find on the ship, because it is just this food court on the pool deck, but it is still really well themed. Best part about this is that it feels like you're going to a quick service restaurant and you don't pay. They just hand you the food and then you're done. Also, look at this toppings bar. This is why I chose to eat here. Emma and I went with the Donald's Cantina build your own bowls. They also do burritos and tacos. I could not resist that salsa bar. Otherwise, I would have gotten what our off-screen reporter got, which is this barbecue from Mickey's Smokestack Barbecue. It looks amazing, especially the mac and cheese. We're gonna give everything a try. We really loved our food. Mine was so filling that I don't feel gross. I assume you feel the same way.
Very good. I was pleasantly surprised by the chicken and the quality of the vegetables.
Yeah, and our off-screen reporter, she requested to be called off-screen producer. That is also an apt title. She really loved her barbecue as well, which I love that barbecue on the Wish, so that makes sense.
atmosphere, I think it's a 5. Like it's a food court, but obviously you have pretty great views. And just in the scope of the ship, it is probably one of the least exciting atmospheres. On the experience, I'm gonna say also a 5. There's not really, it's fine. Like it's just quick service. Yeah, and the service is great, but there's nothing that exciting going on experience-wise. Food-wise, I kind of want to go like a 7.
I would give it a 6 or a 7. I think I really enjoyed what I got. I also think that Marceline is going to have really more exciting things made.
Yeah, there are also some misses at the food courts. I'm not a big fan of the burgers that they have here. Really? So, I mean, it's kind of up to your preference, but it's definitely the middle of the road kind of food, and it's there to be reliable and good, and it is both of those things. So the total score is 17 out of 30.
That's not half bad.
We made it to the Haunted Mansion Lounge. Parlor is a Haunted Mansion themed bar. It is interactive. A show does happen while you're in here. You can hear it's kind of going on right now. We did have to stand outside about 20 minutes in advance. We are on a preview cruise, so it is not a full ship. A lot of people are really interested in this bar, but I would say that's probably representative of what you'll see. It was full, no seats available by 5:02. The best time to come to any of the bars to get a good seat is about 5 minutes before dinner or a show starts. So if you're willing to skip your show, that's going to be the best time to go check out these really high demand bars like Haunted Mansion Parlor. And we're on a quest to try almost every drink or every drink here if we can. So at this seating, we have the spirits have been released. For two. This is the Restless Spirits experience for 2. It is $30, and one of the cocktails is the St. George Botanivere Gin, Screaming Soda Blackberry and Blueberry. The other is the 5 Trail Blended Whiskey with Sour Shivers Lemonade and Orange.
Okay, I'm going gin and I'm scared of it.
I'm going whiskey and I'm not scared of it. Cheers. Ooh. You hate it?
I hate it. It tastes like licorice.
You want to try mine?
Sure. And I'm curious. I know you're gonna like it. You're gonna say it doesn't taste like licorice.
No, it tastes like licorice. Okay. I like licorice.
I hate licorice. I don't like it at all.
All right, 2 for me.
2 for Quincy.
Yeah. This now very spookily lit cocktail is made with Grey Goose, Chambord, lemon, apple, and black cherry. It is called the Happily Never After. It's supposed to be kind of like a French martini. This is tasty, but it's a lot of the like fruitier black cherry flavors. It's not overly sweet or anything, but I really cannot taste the vodka, which might be a good thing, might be a bad thing. And it's not the most balanced cocktail. There is lemon in it, there's some acidity to it. Overall, I just think that it's kind of tastes like a basic drink, despite having the vibe with the glassware and everything, that it should be a little upscale. Still tasty. We're gonna try every single drink here. So we will see which one you should order, but that is the Happily Never After. What timing? That ominous thunderclap? I didn't plan that. Okay, despite the fact that we are no longer in the Haunted Mansion Lounge, I do have 2 more Haunted Mansion drinks. Now these typically come in tiki mugs. You can get them in tiki souvenir glasses. I got them outside of the tiki mugs because we were in there for a media reception, but we're trying to try all the drinks on the menu, so we do what we must. We have the Final Vow, which is Código Artisanal Mezcal, Amaretto, Strawberry, Mango, Lime, and Hot Sauce. That typically comes in the Siren tiki glass. And then we have the last catch, which is Old Forester Statesman, Monin Rose, Mango and Marigold, Lime, and Pineapple. And that typically comes in the Fisherman tiki glass. Ooh, that's better than the Happily Never After. Not super bourbon forward. It's a very nice balanced drink, a lot of fruity flavors. Also, both have edible straws. It's like this is really, I've never had anything like this. It kind of tastes like if you make strawberry jello in a Bloody Mary. And I think I like it. We have some more visits to Haunted Mansion Parlor to make, but we have had many of the drinks at this point, over half the main cocktail menu, as well as some of the non-alcoholic drinks. And we have been in to see the entire show multiple times. So we're ready to give our ranking. From an atmosphere perspective, 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's no
25 out of 10. It's incredible. It's the best atmosphere of almost any Disney restaurant I've ever been in. The experience, also I would say pretty high.
I'd say 9 or 10.
Yeah, it's so interactive. There's so much to see. I'm gonna go 10. The only reason I thought 9 is because it's hyper popular, so they do kind of move you along in a way that you won't see. And not that we were rushed at all, but they do they keep it moving. There's not really an invitation to sit and hang. I don't think that's the point of this place. Like, you're supposed to spend 45 minutes, get the experience, and let somebody else have a turn. So I think we can still go 10. Drinks are where this one falters. Just in general, the drinks that I've had there were just kind of, like, it's like I would go and get a drink to do the experience. The best one we've had is the Last Vow, agreed upon by all of our reporters so far, and we will update you, and you will know already because it would have happened if there are any better drinks. But I mean, I'm thinking like a 4.
I was gonna say 4 or 5.
It's just, I don't even want to go 5 because 5 for me is fine, and 4 is
I'd
like,
say they're not fine.
they're not fine there. I just dislike them a little bit.
There's a lot of drinks that I would say are not worth your money, and they're at the Haunted Mansion Parlor.
I would get wine or beer if we're going to Haunted Mansion Parlor.
Absolutely.
I get a glass of
recommend
wine. So that means that in total, Haunted Mansion's actually scoring pretty low with a 24 because quality of food does matter. However, this is a must-do. Even if it doesn't come in and score as a must-do, this is a must-do. Hello friends and welcome to Skipper Society. This is the Jungle Cruise themed lounge. It is beautiful in here, lots of fun hidden details and funny jokes. And the drinks look pretty good on this menu. So we are going to be trying out a couple of them today, as well as some bites that come with the drinks. Interesting things are happening. All right, here is everything that we've gotten from Skipper Society. Properly prepared beverages, in case you were worried that they were improper. We've got here, we actually went a lot from the sweets and treats menus because it sounded so exciting. This is the Old Fashioned Breakfast, Old Forester Statesman, Barrel Aged Maple, Orange Bitter, Bourbon Sugar, and it comes with bacon and a waffle with these little gummy eggs. This is $20 and it comes in a box and they do smoke the cocktail. It was a very fun one. I already recommend it and I haven't tried it yet. We also have the Salted Caramel Teeny, which is $12 with Star Rum 7 years, Bailey's Salted Caramel, Barrel Aged Maple, Cream, and an Apple Cinnamon Waffle. And then this is actually the drink that comes in the souvenir sipper. It is the Skipper Sipper for $15. It is Gosling's Ocean Aged Rum, Angel's Envy Bourbon, Kahlua Lime, Vanilla, Cinnamon, and Honey. And if you want it with the EMS Empress Boat Mug, it is $50. And then this is actually just some complimentary little snacks that they bring you along with your drinks.
It's so sweet. It's a perfect dessert drink. The Bailey's makes it so incredibly creamy. I love it. I also think it's a little bit too creamy. I'd like to get a little bit of more of that maple flavor. It's just not super robust.
We have the Skipper Sipper here, which is gorgeous, by the way, even outside of the souvenir glass. Oh, wow. Beautifully balanced, beautifully floral, while still having that juicy tiki vibe to it. I really love this, and I think that it's capturing the spirit of like more elegant, elevated tiki drinks. For our breakfast, which is involved, we've got the drink, and then we've also got it paired with a whole waffle that has gummies and bacon on top. But the drink, this is definitely the most liquor-forward cocktail I've had. It's got a little bit of that maple on the nose. It's very aromatic. And the add-ins really complement the bourbon without overwhelming it, which makes it a really quality old-fashioned, pretty significant cocktail, and a waffle with bacon on the side. I think that makes it worth the $20 price tag. And then I'm gonna eat these gummy eggs. Hey, gummy egg cheers. I wasn't expecting the flavor. They're good gummies. Oh, I'm dipping it in the drink.
The chili flakes.
And the maple sugar.
There's like true heat to that.
Yeah. There is true heat to it. I'm really incredibly impressed by the old-fashioned breakfast. You know what? The Skippers do make properly prepared drinks.
I'll give it to them.
I'll give it to them. Atmosphere-wise, this one's gonna get a 10. It has so many hidden details. It is so much fun. The experience, I'm gonna go with a 9. I think this is so fun, and the drinks come with a lot of showy experiences in many cases. Final answer, I'm taking experience to a 9 at Skipper Society because they do live music, they do trivia, so there's always something going on. So I think for the live entertainment portion, we gotta bump it to a 9. Okay, everybody who had something from Skipper regrouped, we're giving it a 7 out of 10 on the food and drink. Very good, and I actually think the value is there, but not stand out, go out of the way for outside of the experience, which we agree is pretty good. So that in total is going to be 26 for Skipper Society. Did I call it Skipper Canteen? Don't let me do that. That's in Magic Kingdom and that's confusing. This restaurant will make you feel like you've stepped aboard the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's right, a 20,000 Leagues themed pub.
Feel like you stepped aboard the Nautilus, inspired by the classic Disney park attraction 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea submarine voyage. Here you can enjoy craft brews or specialty drinks, and you can look above the glass ceiling to see the watery world above you. Here you can also catch news and live sports coverage on the TVs. You can see the fishes swim above.
You can!
You can also see a shark. It's mega cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Okay. So there is a pretty extensive food menu here. You can actually get like full meals here. Now this is an upcharge location, so the meals are upcharge if you do want to eat, but they've got wings and bangers and mash and a burger and a really giant pretzel. And then they also have a number of specialty drinks, some specialty beers that were made just for this spot.
John Ashton's Jolly Good Burger. It is $16, handcrafted brisket burger, tomato, shredded iceberg lettuce, pickles, and American cheese on a toasted sesame seed potato bun. Comes with crisp french fries and Kewpie ketchup. Off-screen reporter / producer extraordinaire says that it means more fat. I disagree, but I like a really lean burger. And this does not read brisket to me. I agree with that. It tastes like a regular patty, but I think it's a really good classic cheeseburger. I mean, it is definitely better than the cheeseburgers you can get up on the pool deck. So I think if you're really craving that, this could be a good option. But I don't think it's necessarily a standout enough to warrant the $16 extra charge when there is plenty tasty stuff kind of around the ship to have.
I can't stop eating the tots.
It's not so
Take
bad.
these away from me, they're so good.
We got about half a plate left, girl. You're gonna have to eat fast. We got lots of food to get through.
Okay, so time to rank Periscope Pub. We've been in there a good bit. Atmosphere and Periscope Pub, I'm gonna go with a 9 because I think that this atmosphere is both immersive and kind of chill and relaxing. I love all the hidden details in here. I just think it's a spectacular atmosphere. I think 7 for the experience. The bartenders are fantastic. I love that you can watch your sports or news or whatever you want to watch when you're in there. I did not love that the food is only served after 5. At least that was the case while I am here. Remember, you can always check hours for that kind of thing by asking or by checking in your Navigator app. And then the food and drinks, really enjoyed across the board. Speaking to Angie and Miranda, they thought their drinks and food were fantastic. So I'm gonna go with a 10 for the food and drink. Definitely worth trying out if you are spending on some bar and food on the Treasure.
So this is the Aristocat Scat Cat Lounge. It's absolutely gorgeous, and no surprise to anyone that it is themed to the Aristocats. Now we're here just a little bit early for us. It's opening at 7 tonight, and this is the piano bar, so it plays absolutely beautiful music. And of course, we're gonna be trying out a few drinks.
We're previewing Scat Cat right now. It is a media thing, so we're doing like interviews with Imagineers and stuff to get hidden details. Emma just stopped me, and I thought she had seen a major celebrity, was the vibe, and I'm gonna show you what she was looking at. It was this Uncrustable drink right here. Are you okay?
I'm getting that. There's a tear in my eye. I'm so excited.
And we have our drinks. So we chose the creme de la creme and the Frances.
I'm saying Frances.
Frances.
That's right.
Then it is the Frances.
Okay, so talking Scat Cat, we're gonna start off with talking about the atmosphere. A 9? What do you think? It's not a perfect ambiance, but honestly, I can't think of many things to critique when it comes to experience. I'm honestly gonna give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10 for screen time.
And then when it comes to drinks, maybe an 8 out of 10 for drinks. Because it wasn't perfect, we did have to switch.
Yes.
But I think the quality was there. I believe that puts us at 27 out of 30, which is not too shabby at all.
All right, we made it to the Rose. This lounge has sweeping ocean views, antique mirrors, and floating rose petals at this elegant adult exclusive lounge reminiscent of the enchanted castle from Beauty and the Beast. It is a very beautiful lounge, and this lounge they do actually have on the Wish as well, but there are a few differences, particularly behind the bar, which is my favorite difference that there is, but you can see it's very elegant, very fancy.
So I grabbed the Plant and Fleurs for $17. This has Absolute Elix, Miraval Rosé, and Blackberry.
I grabbed the chocolat. It's chocolate, Bottega Nero, Tia Maria, and Illy Arabica.
So honestly, I really enjoy this. It's very sweet, but not in the overly sugary kind of way. It has blackberry, which helps with that fruity freshness, but the rosé is pretty prominent in flavor. I really enjoy it. It's very glamorous looking, and it's pretty tasty.
So this was actually really, really lovely. It's a perfect dessert drink in my opinion. It's like a sweeter, chocolatier espresso martini. It's super, super light, almost slightly creamy, and then it has that nice chocolate aftertaste. I think it's a perfect dessert drink.
So from all those experiences at the Rose on this ship, we are going with a score of 10 on the atmosphere because it is an absolutely beautiful restaurant. We are going with a 6 on experience because though the experience is lovely, it doesn't necessarily stand out in the context of all the other awesome experiences around the ship. And we are going with a 7 for drinks. The menu is limited, but the drinks are very tasty. So the Rose ends up with a final score of 23.
So here we are, this is Palace Steakhouse. It is a very refined adult-only experience here that you can check out if you're interested. It is an upcharge. It is not included in your traditional part of the cruise budget if you've already paid that. Now for us, we're testing out brunch today, and we're gonna have to do a fun little rating system. Here's just a glimpse at the menu. They do serve Italian dishes as well as that delicious steak. For brunch, they also have entrees as well as pizza, soup, eggs, waffles, and an antipasto selection. So a lot of variety. Okay, starting us off, for brunch you do get a complimentary glass of either a mimosa or Prosecco. We went mimosa.
Mimosa.
Cheers.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. All right, so we've started off with several things. We're going with one of the antipasta selections. It has a Jonah crab claw, lemon marinated shrimp, marinated green lip mussels, spiced ahi tuna, and then it comes with Meyer lemon, saffron aioli, dill honey mustard, and a cocktail sauce. For my first bite, I did get one of the poached eggs. I ended up going with the poached egg that comes with sliced smoked salmon, hollandaise sauce, and caviar. And then for Miranda, she ended up going with a little bit of the soup option, and she grabbed the heirloom tomato and basil served with grape tomatoes and virgin olive oil. It's slightly jammy but perfectly runny. There's no added seasoning outside of the caviar and the salmon, which are perfectly salty. And the English muffin has just enough of a crisp to kind of have a nice textural element without making it tough.
And the heirloom tomato, you can taste a little bit of that basil coming through, but when you get to the points with the olive oil mixed into, like drizzled into the heirloom tomato soup, it's just perfection.
The mussel itself is not too fishy, which sometimes can kind of be the case, that saltiness of the ocean if they don't wash it properly. Very nice. It's a perfect little bite. I wish I had maybe 2 more.
Crab claw. My one consistency here so far with my seafood experience is that it's just been kind of bland. Middle of the road, needs a lot of seasoning, needs a lot of flavor. This already had a lot of good butter and flavor to it. quite frankly, it's probably the best seafood I've had on this ship.
The ahi tuna itself, the main flavor is kind of those spices all around the edges of it. It's light. It's a good little bite to kind of get your palate ready, but just very spicy. So when it comes to our full entrees, we both grabbed something that just sounded excellent to us, but was especially recommended by our waitress. I ended up grabbing the wild mushroom ravioli with Meyer lemon, nut brown butter, and toasted pine nuts. And then Miranda went with the Parmesan crusted chicken breast topped with tomato basil sauce, mozzarella cheese, and a rice risotto underneath. It's a little bit, the portion is a little bit on the smaller side, but you can tell this ravioli is made here. This is fresh made ravioli. The filling is super generous. It is perfectly smooth. It has a great earthiness thanks to the mushrooms. This is perfectly light. It's really nice.
Good as your dish was, mine was probably just as amazing. The chicken itself is like panko crusted, and it's very juicy on the inside, which I appreciate because normally it's really dry. The cheese on the top is fantastic, but you still get that note of the heirloom tomato and the basil joining it. It's delicious. I'm glad that we took this recommendation.
Nice. Now for dessert, I grabbed the limoncello torte, which is a citrus cake with cream cheese, lemon curd, and a citrus salad. Miranda ended up grabbing the buttermilk panna cotta pot with strawberry popping pearls and a pistachio crumble.
It's perfectly sweet with just the right amount of citrus acidity. It's so moist, almost melts in your mouth. This is what I think sunshine might taste like. It's very nice.
This panna cotta is delicious. It's a little bland towards the bottom, which I don't think it's meant to have a whole lot of flavor because the popping pearls they just burst with flavor. It's like strawberry panna cotta. The pistachio crumbles are a little harder. I thought for whatever reason they might be like cake crumbles that were very, very soft. These are a little harder, so it gave it a nice like crunchier texture to it. But overall delicious.
The atmosphere in Anante is elevated and beautiful with nods to Beauty and the Beast in the entryway and the beautiful chandelier meant to replicate the bubble explosion that happens when they pop champagne in the movie. I do recommend dining here before sundown because the sea views are incredible. Once it gets dark you can't quite see them, but it is a wonderful experience no matter when you do decide to come. Now for the menu, you can do a couple of different options. They have a few a la carte options, as well as the passion and potager menus, one meat, one veg, shorter menu options, and the collection, which is a longer menu, kind of at the chef's whim. I did dine with our reporter who has a shellfish allergy, and they fully accommodated all of her allergy needs across the menu without us having to really do anything or think about it at all. I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we've had so far, just because it's a very long meal, so I want to talk about it in chunks. The amuse-bouche was a green mole with a pickled radish as well as a tomato dashi water. And this was a really incredible bite, explosion of flavor. Honestly, it could have been a bit overwhelming, but was not because it was an amuse-bouche. Our first real course were leeks soaked in a vegetable broth that really soaked up all of the flavor, and they were topped with these really unique egg yolk tubes that were egg yolk surrounded by egg yolk that had turned into a bit of a wrapper, topped with shaved frozen egg yolk. And then they finished this with a champagne foam. Incredible. This potato gnocchi, house-made, topped with fresh shaved Parmesan and a Parmesan sauce. The Parmesan in this dish is so perfectly suited to be the season for this gnocchi. It is very high quality cheese, you can tell, and that Parmesan sauce is foamy and light and delicious and kind of very easy to drag a noodle through. The next course was all about onion. Really was kind of the vibe. Pearl onions stuffed with an onion, pickled onion sort of filling. Then there were also seared onions with little onion pieces on top, filled with a beautiful, incredibly reduced wine sauce. And one thing about Chef Arnaud Lamont that I've noticed coming to Anante twice is that he loves to take an ingredient and really push it to its limits. That's what happens with onion in this dish. It is so basically every way that you can taste onion happens in this dish. This is not what it's called, but I'm calling it all about beets. It is a beet aioli. There's shaved beet on top that I can see. There are beet leaves on top, and then this comes with a horseradish cream sauce, which I am so excited about. I love horseradish. The cheese course. Yeah, there's a cheese course. We got 5 cheeses. All of them very fancy cheeses. Cheese course has been very fun. I'm sure you did not just watch 6.5 minutes of me eating cheese. And just so you're aware, my editor did have to watch 6.5 minutes of eating cheese. So if you're ever like, man, I bet Quincy's editor really likes her and they get along, I think he's probably ready to murder me, because he just watched 6 minutes and 50 seconds of me eating cheese and talking about how he won't like how long this clip is. Might as well make it an even 7.
Inside, this is going to be the pre-dessert for you. So some little finger bites for you to enjoy while Chef finalises your main desserts. Chocolate bonbons, they're flavoured with a pear and salted caramel. A little lemon drop shortbread, so shortbread biscuit lemon confit. A Guinness creme brulee, a little throwback to the childhood. We have a little fruit roll up flavoured with strawberry and lychee. Mini pavlovas, so meringue, strawberry jam and a whipped vanilla ganache on the top. And finally this little tartelette, so mango and pineapple, coconut and passion fruit on the top. So final course of the evening, madame, start here with the chocolate dessert. So you're going to find this cocoa nib tuile. In between each layer is chocolate mousse, chocolate ganache and salted caramel. On the side a cocoa nib ice cream with some more caramel and chocolate. The madame for yourself is our peanut dessert, so on the bottom we're going to find a peanut and a Tanariba chocolate praline. We have what we call a blanc manger, so like a floating island, so some whipped egg whites, crunchy peanut butter and a vanilla cream. On the side here a vanilla bechamel, a vanilla ice cream, peanut butter praline, and we're going to finish with a peanut emulsion.
So this is wonderful. I'm very elevated, and this is too much dessert that has happened at this table. And it's looking me in the eyes, and it's just not going to go down. All right, so final rating for Anante. I am inclined to give this spot a perfect 30. Anante is one of my favorite fine dining meals I've done, and if you've been around the channel a while, you know that I do a good amount of fine dining, especially in the Disney sphere. Anante is one of my favorite fine dining experiences, and I've done it twice, and it was consistently just as good both times, from a service perspective, an atmosphere perspective, a menu perspective, and every single bite I had was innovative and exciting. One thing that I really love about Anante is that you can expect from fine dining restaurants and from lauded chefs, especially those with Michelin stars, sometimes there's a reputation for them being a little bit stuffy, for the restaurants being stuffy, for the chefs having a bit of an ego and not being willing to modify or do things to make guests happy. Like salt not on the table. You won't find salt on your table at Anante, but it's more a sign of the atmosphere than it is actually that stuffiness. My friends at Disney Food Blog did an interview with Chef Arnaud and asked how he feels when people ask about modifications, and Chef told them that he is always willing to modify to anything the guests might want because it is not haute cuisine if the guests are not happy and enjoying it. I respect that so much. I think that is what fine dining truly should be, and I think that my experiences at Anante fully reflect that. I will also say from an experience perspective that Anante doesn't feel as intimidating or stuffy as other fine dining restaurants, and yet the service and experience does not feel any lower caliber or lower class than other fine dining establishments I've been to. I'm not really sure how they're accomplishing that, but I just think it is such a wonderful experience. I'm inclined to give it a perfect score of 30 for 10 points in each category. However, I am going to knock it down just 1 point, half in experience, half in food, if I'm allowed to do that, which I am because I made the scoring system. And that is only because I think that fine dining is not for everybody. You might not be as comfortable with a multi-course, innovative, interesting fine dining experience. That just might not be your thing. And if that's the case, head over to Palace Steakhouse and have a wonderful, very nice dinner without it feeling a little over the top. A lot of people do not like fine dining, and that is totally fine, which is why I am gonna knock this down from a perfect. That is not a reflection of Anante at all. In a fine dining world, Anante is a perfect experience in my opinion. I absolutely love it. As someone who does love fine dining, I would give it a 30. It's getting a 29. Still a wonderful spot. Welcome to Cove Cafe.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
I was talking to them. So this is an adults-only coffee bar. This is an adults-only coffee bar that is located in the adults-only section of the ship. It's quite a beautiful coffee bar, and it is going to be an upcharge. So the drinks here you do have to pay a little extra for. Atmosphere-wise, you can see that it's a very beautiful, small cafe that's quiet with calming music and lots of islands references in the shelves, including Maui's hook, or at least what looks a lot like Maui's hook. Probably just a regular fisherman's hook. This time I'm trying out the Italian coffee. Now Coco Cafe kind of has a theme of being like an around the world worldly coffee bar. So they have different coffees from around the world that you can try. And I got the Italian coffee, which is one of my favorite things to eat in the entire world. And it is affogato, a shot of espresso pulled over vanilla gelato or ice cream. And it's incredible. The drinks at Coco Cafe, when you get them for here, do come with a little macaron on the side. And I'm just gonna go to town on this. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's gelato from Jumbo's. It's incredible. You give it 100?
I give Coke 100.
There's no 100. Okay, well, we just finished at Coco Cafe. On atmosphere, I think Coke has really excellent atmosphere.
I feel very classy and adult.
I think it's, which we don't often feel. I think it's like a 9 out of 10 on atmosphere. There's no like star pieces that really just make me think this is perfect. For experience, I'm gonna say like an 8 out of 10. Like there's nothing like super immersive or themed about it, but it is wonderful service, incredible service.
Yes.
The actual drinks, 10.
I give them a 10.
10 out of 10, baby.
Yeah.
So that's what? 10 plus 9 plus 8?
Yeah, you got that math.
27.
Go. Here she goes. Look at her go.
So I did 30 minus 3 instead of doing.
Fair. That's how I have to do math.
Yeah. 27. That's a really high rating for Coco Cafe. Again, one of our favorite spots to go to.
Let's see how the other coffee places hold up though.
We're doing a whole tour of them. You guys don't know this, but we're literally like marathoning them.
If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe.
And now go watch our Disney Treasure vlog from a couple of days ago. We'll see you there.